Hospitals are meant for healing, but some places are built for holding. Blackwood Sanatorium was officially shut down in the winter of 1972. The records say the patients were relocated due to a black mold infestation. But if you walk through the rusted iron gates today, you realize very quickly they lied. Nobody ever left. I am an urban explorer, and I have walked through countless dead buildings. But Blackwood is not dead. It is sleeping. I climbed through a broken basement window. The air inside was heavy, thick with the undeniable metallic stench of dried blood and formaldehyde. My flashlight cut through the absolute darkness, revealing overturned wheelchairs and mountains of rotting medical files. The silence was absolute. But as I walked deeper into the labyrinth of corridors, the silence began to break. It started as a faint rhythmic sound. Beep, beep, beep. A heart monitor in a building that hasn't had electricity for 50 years. I followed the sound. It led me to the fourth floor, the psychiatric wing. The air grew freezing cold and my breath materialized in front of me like pale smoke. At the end of the hall was Ward 404. The door was heavy steel with a small reinforced glass window. I wiped the grime away and looked inside. In the center of the room was a rusty surgical table, and standing right next to it, facing away from me, was a figure in a surgical gown. "Hello?" I called out. My voice betrayed my terror. The figure didn't move, but the beeping of the phantom heart monitor began to speed up. Beep, beep, beep. I pushed the heavy steel door open. It shrieked on its hinges. I stepped inside. Are you lost?" I asked. The figure slowly turned its head. It wasn't wearing a surgical mask. Its face was wrapped entirely in stained yellowing bandages. But where the eyes should have been, the bandages were soaked in fresh, dark red blood. Suddenly, the blinding surgical lights above the table flickered violently to life. The room was bathed in a sickly fluorescent glow. The bandaged entity raised a hand holding a rusted bone saw, and then a sound that will haunt me until the day I die erupted from beneath its bandages, a chorus of a dozen different voices, all screaming in absolute agony. The hospital walls began to vibrate. The doors down the hallway began to slam shut one by one, moving closer to me. Bang, bang, bang. I turned and sprinted. I ran blindly through the maze of decay, the sound of dragging footsteps and the whirring of the bone saw echoing right behind me. I threw myself out of the first floor window, crashing into the overgrown weeds outside. I scrambled to my feet and didn't stop running until I reached my car. I locked the doors, my chest heaving, gasping for air. I survived, or so I thought. As I gripped the steering wheel, my eyes fell upon my left wrist. Fastened tightly around it was a faded plastic hospital ID band. It had my name on it, and the admission date was today.